So right now I am on the sofa. That is my basic choice basically. Do I have to lie on a bed? Do I lie on a sofa? Do I lie on a white sofa? Do I lie on a dark sofa? Um, yeah, the sun is very, very low now that I can't sunbathe even if it is sunny. I've put a massage table in my bedroom by a window because that's the that's the only way I'm able to get some sort of light through a window by sitting on that. But yeah, I my room looks the room looks so much better without the chair. It looks bigger, but yeah, I've taken the chair away. That the lounger thing there. But anyway, I have been thinking about just what's going to happen. I mean, we're always thinking about what's going to happen, and my plan always changes because people never respond to me or talk to me. But yeah, I have an idea. So you come to me now and take me to AJ Miller. I still think that he needs to be the first that I kind of meet or talk to, just because I want when I am first spoken to by people about this religion that I have, I want people to have there be like, when was this? When did this happen? And if I say, oh, it's the same time or just a few days after AJ Miller got promoted. So I want there to be a day where like lots and lots of people, 144,000 people post an advert or just something about AJ Miller saying that they believe that he's Christ. The Muslims believe that Jesus will come back, but he won't come back as the sort of telling of the Bible. He'll come back in his own form, and I want to honour this. There's very little that I believe in when it comes to the Muslim religion, but I do think that's the truth, and I want that to be the truth. And it's good that it's the truth because Jesus is not Christ, and there's confusion there. And I feel like if if there is a day where he is promoted as being the real Jesus, I don't know when this would be. Technically Christmas Day might actually be a good time for it to happen, because that's supposed to be the birth of Christ or the birth of Jesus. So I don't know, but yeah, for me to talk to him first, I guess I need to go over to him. And if he's in America or Australia, I mean, if he's in Australia, it's going to take me many hours to get there, so you would have to come to me just before Christmas. But yeah, I always thought, I'm believing now that there's going to be like a 40-day warning, and I haven't seen any 40-day warning or any evidence that anything's going to happen. So because of that, I just feel like maybe it's not going to be this Christmas. But if it's not going to be this Christmas, then my plan is not going to be in timing, because I need to go on some sort of holiday. I need to have some sort of rest. I need to learn I need to know who to trust, and I don't trust anyone. And I want to have loads of interviews with these Christians. I've seen huge numbers of posts about Elon Musk, and some of them are crazy. I understand some of them, which is about plans to Mars or bigging up SpaceX. There's quite a lot of the company AI pictures that just promote him as being some sort of messiah figure, and I kind of get that. But I've found some really strange ones where people are promoting just random shit, and it's almost like the same post repeated over and over again in some of them. And I think, with Facebook, usually fake accounts aren't allowed. If you have a fake account, it usually gets closed down, and they're not getting closed down when it comes to this Elon now. So I'm thinking that Elon is working with Mark Zuckerberg, and they both realize or know that working together they're going to be stronger. So they've decided that I think Mark has allowed these false profiles that promote him, and he's allowed it so that I have been looking for some sort of male figure. I was thinking it would be Martin for such a long time, but he never came back. He never helped me. He never did anything, and I still have no clue about anything. I don't even know if he's still alive. If he has died, I wouldn't be surprised. He wasn't exactly. He was 42 before, and he's now must be like 54, which isn't old or anything, but I just to go that long and not know anything about that person, I don't like him any longer, and I think he's just crazy, and I can't believe that he just done nothing but betrayed me. So I'm looking for some other kind of male figure to help. Um, Terrible. Oh, let's. Um, I'm looking. I've been looking for some sort of male figure. It's nice. Everyone wants some sort of partner to be kind of like seen as some sort of equal to them. And with me, that's never going to happen because I believe I'm the only species of my kind on this planet, and I can't like the singers because they've all just been doing things about me behind my back for such a long time, refusing to help me. So I can't see them as being on the same level as me. I see them as people. I see them as people that are just using me and have been using me for a very long time. Okay, I'm not all negative towards them because I think that they're better than just the average person in society who don't do anything. At least the singers are giving me nice songs and I'm enjoying listening to them. So although I hate them, I hate other people more. So I still feel that way. But I would like there to be some sort of figure that's similar to me, and I feel like I've been dating something online, and I feel like Elon too is starting to go through that because there's a ton of people that are pretending to be him. I think they're being paid, but of course they're going to deny that if told or confronted with it. But then again, there might actually be genuine people that are just pretending to be him just for the sake of just I'm bored and I like the idea of people looking up to me and thinking that I'm something special, so I'm going to try and convince. I bet there's tons of people that do that with singers. I want to convince people that I'm so and so from this band and I'm doing this because I want to just get attention or something. So I'm aware that there's lots of people that create false accounts just because they themselves are depressed and want to make themselves feel better by having a sense of false importance, by claiming to be someone that they're not. But yeah, I feel like with the Elon people, they're actually being paid to do it. I mean, I haven't really got much evidence of that. I've had a small conversation with someone that I don't know what he's been posting, because there are some good posts that are just promotion, and there's some weird posts that are just like that's kind of strange. But I definitely feel like all my posts and all my feeds are pointing to him. So if there is going to be some sort of male figure that's like a type of antichrist, I think he should definitely be that type, because AJ Miller is the kind of antichrist, but if he's also Jesus and people think that Jesus is Christ, then he's not the antichrist because he's not against himself. But yeah, there's no attraction between me and AJ. I see AJ as being quite young. And he's in a very stable, strong relationship from what I've seen, and therefore but I need a time to promote him, or I need a time just to meet him and just to let him know that I'm not against him, and if he doesn't want to support me, or if he doesn't want to if he wants to promote whatever rubbish he wants to promote, then I have absolutely no problem with that. So I would like to meet him first and just let him know that I'm the one who's helping people promote him, and then once I've done that, I want to just have a break, and I want to know why my minions, I have a whole bunch of minions that are pretending to know me and speak to me, and they're just lying most of the time. Sometimes they get things right, but sometimes they don't, and I'd love to have lots of meetings with them whilst I myself are completely unknown and not seen as famous. I don't know how I'm going to get these interviews, because I'm sure a lot of them are just going, as soon as they realise they ain't going to make any money out of me, or they ain't going to convince me that they are talking to God, as soon as they realise that, they're probably not going to have any interest in wanting to talk to me. But I would love to have something that just shows their complete rejection of me and just shows that they are not on my side. All these people are saying, they're criticising other people. If Christ was real, you're not against him. What would Christ say if Christ met you? And while I would be like, I'm Christ and I don't support what you're saying and I'm not talking to you, so can you stop talking for me? And I just want to have their response to this, why they think I can't be Christ. I don't know what kind of conversation I'm going to get, but I need to get some sort of answers. I think it's interesting though how I did actually get an Elon supporter to give me some kind of answers. I'm not too sure what to make of it, but I think he's a real person, I think. It's getting harder and harder to tell the difference between a real person and an AI robot. But yeah, I need that, and then I need just I want to have some sort of freedom to go places for a while, just so that I can feel like, because as soon as I get famous, it's going to be a lot harder for me to travel. A lot of people are going to want me dead, and therefore I feel like I want to do things before that happens. And therefore I want to just do something first, and then when and then I want to expose myself via the media, but I want there to be some sort of coven set up, and I did before wanted to be on TV and on Netflix or whatever, but I feel like it's a much better idea to know exactly who is watching me, who is interested, what they think, and if they just see me on Netflix or on TV, I feel like we're not going to really have much connection with them, and therefore if all the things that I do is on like a separate thing, I mean, I don't know if Netflix or TV or something like, I don't know, internet sites want to have the basic and just charge them people, but I don't know that there'll need to be some, there could be a lot of money deals, but I don't know what to say because I'm not really in communication with that, so I feel like I need someone to help figure out what's best. I don't like the idea of millions of people watching me, especially if they're just judging me and if I know they're just judging me. So the idea of me being told that only a couple of hundred people are watching me when really it's a lot higher, I don't mind that, because I feel like it would actually help my brain be more at ease and not feel like I need to worry about people. I need to, if people are watching me or spying on me, I think it's important that I know people are doing that, because I want to try and avoid farting or picking my nose or something like that. So the idea of people spying on my house now, which is something that I've had to live with for 12 years, this is a horrible thing, because, if my house is a mess, I don't like people seeing my house or seeing me live in a house that looks like a mess. And so the idea that there could be cameras in my house when I'm completely unaware, I feel like that's really unfair and harsh, and I hope isn't happening. I think voice is slightly different. But yeah, I do sometimes like to burp and fart, and I think if someone's got a voice, if someone's watching this against my will, it's not so great. But yeah, if I had a nice big house and I was told that so some people are watching, or enough people are watching for me to try and be aware of that, but it's actually higher, maybe I'm not too bothered, but I think it would be important for people to know who is watching me, and for that reason having a subscription might be an idea, and therefore you can set up this idea of there being a house and there being access to see what's going on in this house, but the only way you can get access to know and to watch things, or I don't know what will be played or what will be shown. I love just talking, like watching a film and then talking about it. So if it weren't done in the way that Big Brother is done, which is just the relationship, Big Brother's all about the relationship between the different people. But yeah, if I don't really want to be around people or to talk to people, and I feel like I want a more personal connection than just to have people watch the show for the sake of watching a group of people. I'd rather people watch the show because they're actually curious to know, why did this girl think she's Christ, or why does she think she's God? And so if I had a different type of show that's just about, I don't know, me watching a film and then giving my interpretation or view, similar to what I've been doing for the last 12 years. I've been making lots of videos where I'm just talking, and I guess you can, I don't know I think I would like it to be designed so that the goal of it is to just make as much money as possible. I hate people and I want to make them as poor as possible, and therefore if charging things is gonna help do that, I'm not doing it to gain money for myself. I'm just doing it out of sort of anger over, you've had 12 years to help me and you've all refused, and now I still want this help, but I want to try and do it in a kind of a more aggressive way that's going to help just charge people. And if I had someone like Elon and a team of people who are out to just make money, I'm okay with that, because I'm angry, and that's part of like the revenge of just saying, okay, if you want my information, if you want my help, you can have it, but you're going to have to pay. And I'm not doing this because I want to take your money. I'm wanting this because you didn't seem to want to help me when I was offering it for free. So now I want a group of people who want to look like they are only interested in money. And I want to help those people, because I'm angry over how long this has been. But yeah, I think it's important though that Elon's not seen as someone who's actually running the group, but rather is someone who's elected by the group, and therefore because that would keep him in a more safer position. The group has this Christ figure. This Christ figure is alone in a house and just watching films, but we need someone to go in there and kind of help her build up trust between herself and the coven, and therefore we need to elect some kind of leader, and then you can get members to join this group. I guess Andrew Tate is something that I'm thinking about, or Elizabeth April. She has like a whole group of people and a whole bunch of memberships and different levels and different costs. I don't know what other things that I can offer. There can be like chats. I could offer like personal chats where people actually get to speak to me and contact me. But you might need to have some sort of barrier, because if you want to make it look like I don't know things, or I'm not allowed to know things, then you might need to pretend to them that you can't just talk directly, because we need to make sure you're saying the right things and you're not exposing things that we don't want her to know. Really, I do know a lot, or what I want to know, but I think you need to make it look like to the people that are trying to contact me that it's in like a secure environment, and only certain things are things that I'm allowed to know, or something like that. I don't know how you're going to play that, but I like the idea of that. And then I guess the group basically though will need to elect some sort of leader, and I'm feeling like Elon should be the one that's selected, because I feel like he's already been selected. I don't know why Mark Zuckerberg is allowing all these fake accounts to pop up about him, or where people pretend to be him. I think in the past he would have closed down these accounts if it's not your own identity, but that isn't happening. So I feel like they are working together, right, rather than against each other. But then again, if you're up against an extremely powerful god that's old as me, you probably need strength in numbers anyway. I'm not saying that I'm against you. I'm saying this is, the public needs to think that you're against me, because I think the public is going to be really, really scared of the power that I have, or the influence that I have on everyone, and they're also going to be upset that they have been worshipping lies all their life, and therefore it's kind of important to make it look like I have no power, or I have power, but it's all controlled by other people. And if people don't like the people with all the money and power, but people do like a recognizable face. I know you have all these businesses like Amazon or eBay, but I don't know the face of eBay, or the face of Netflix, or the face of BBC, or the face. You have the people on news that are like presenters and stuff, but I don't know who's running these places, who's running the BBC, who's running. None of these people seem to stand out to me. And Jeff Bezos has only just recently started standing out, but I've seen quite a lot of posts about him, and I just feel like my higher self is showing me certain things. And even with Bill Gates, like I don't really know what I know he's involved in lots of humanitarianism movements and helping vaccines and stuff, but I don't know, I've heard that he's part or linked to Microsoft, and therefore I've linked him to that, even though I don't know why. There might be other people that are involved in that. I feel like there's some faces that seem to pop out, but it's very, very few. And a world where you have all these big companies, but you do have a sort of face of who's sort of behind it, who's running it. I think that's such a more friendly, nicer world to live in, where you can be like, oh, these are all the main companies and these are all the people that are behind it. It feels more like a family when you start knowing the faces behind the companies. The problem is the world is so big and just full of so many horrible people that are just out for more money, just out to help themselves, just out to help their own family, and can't see other families as being part of their family. There's so many of these people that I feel like a lot of people at top would want to hide, because if these people get involved in an accidental car crash, there'd be a ton of people wanting to exaggerate the damage done to them so that they can try and sue for millions of pounds. And I think that the worst thing about the world is that the courts would say us stupid, and they side with the people that are most like them. Now, if you've got people who are kind of similar to them and are suing rich people for millions of pounds, these people might just think, well, these people have millions of pounds, why not let them sue for huge amounts of money? And huge amounts of money, they're not going to side with the people at the top, because they have this belief that the people at the top are just people that have just got their wealth through sort of randomness or something, rather than intelligence. I think if you really believed in God, you would believe that God has helped the millionaires or billionaires become millionaires and or billionaires. And I know some people get there through fraud and stuff, so it's not all done by God's will or choice, and not all people at the top are nice people. But I think there's so many people at the bottom that don't want to believe that. They want to believe that God's people are the people at the bottom, and therefore if the people at the bottom want to sue big companies for massive amounts, they're not going to be thinking about the damage that the company is going to face having this loss, the number of staffing that they're going to have to fire because of this, that the number of, if you fire a company that had lots of money and you say, oh, we're if you sue a company that had lots of money, and you say, I've had this hot drink, it burnt my tongue, and you're responsible, you've got millions of pounds, I've got nothing, you have to give me millions of pounds for this, even though for the people that say that this is okay and allow this sort of fraud to happen, they don't realize that companies actually are a very good thing, because they provide huge amounts of jobs for a number of people. And if you're going to allow companies to be sued for huge amounts of money, you're just going to make the company a lot more poorer. And if the company is poorer, it's going to be able to employ less, it's going to be able to help less people, it's going to be less willing to help less people, it's going to be more hateful towards society, and the people at the top are going to become more and more corrupt because of this attitude towards them, and not realizing the importance of how good it is to have a job. And if the people at the top who have these big companies are able to earn money, able to take on more employees, then that should be a good thing. But I feel like sometimes it's underappreciated because people have a certain hatred towards the rich. But often these people are stupid people who don't understand that some people can actually be more intelligent than they are. And people that go into judging and the court systems, are people that want to have this power over other people, but do they want to have it for the right reason? Or do they just want to have this power so that they can try and help even out the balance between the rich and the poor? And okay, that there is good in that, but if the rich are the ones that are better at creating companies that give jobs and help other people become richer too through this more successful company than the lesser successful companies that just fail, there's good and bad in everything. And I feel like a lot of people can't see the bigger picture, they just focus on the smaller picture. And I've gone completely off topic to what I was saying, but I feel that you should have a coven that elects a leader, and I think Elon looks like he's the person who would be a good candidate to be elected, even though he's technically already be elected. But if you make it look like it's the members of the coven that are electing him, then they would have support. It's important that the leader of this coven has the support of the members. So you first need to create the coven, you first need to get the members, which will take 7 weeks, and then you need to make it look like the members are electing the leader. And then if that leader, Elon, makes contact with me and tries to make it look like I think he's on my side, when really he's actually on the coven side, then because that's what all the religious. So if you do like him doing rituals, I kind of had a vision of that, like make it look like he's been doing lots of oaths or cover rituals that say that he's on the side of the coven, and do that before he actually meets me. Then he would kind of be looking like you're sending a Judas into my area, when really I feel like he's already been chosen, and I feel like is this a plan that I'm actually setting up? I am God, and God made Judas, and God knew the whole plan. Hence, if God really was God, God would know that Judas is going to betray God, and God would actually be the one encouraging Judas to betray Jesus. And in that same way, I want some figure to look like he's going to betray me, when really I actually set the whole thing up. But I don't want them to know that. So, but yes, I like that idea, and I like the idea of there being a sort of male figure that is seen as a sort of equally powerful figure. And yeah, his posts about him are just taking up my whole feed, and I feel like that has actually given him a huge more power than he actually has. I'm aware that he might actually just be someone who owns a couple of million and that's it. And I'm aware that everything that I know or been told about him might all just be lies, and I don't care. I am attracted to him because of just the huge amount, the army that he seems to have online, where people are posting about him. That to me has made him far more attractive. But yeah, that also makes him a far better candidate to be a sort of Messiah figure, because Messiah figure needs minions to help him, and then followers to support him, and that's how the Messiah grows. And yeah,